Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. All right, you brothers and you sisters, or who sincerely coming back to the Most High God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, Yahweh. All right, Bahasham, in the name of Yahweh Shai, the name of the only begotten Son of the Most High, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, our mediator, our high priest, and our way back to the Heavenly Father in these latter days. Through his blood, we have received the Rachakwadash, the Holy Spirit of promise, to understand the future glory and to put off this world and offer up our bodies as a living sacrifice in whatever capacity we've been given and measure we've been given. All right, and we take joy in it. As this world is crumbling and fading away, all right, we are seeing our enemies being plagued. All right, and even some of our own people are a part of this madness. All right, for the hope that Babylon the Great will be restored, all right, to its former glory. Okay, as you Christians or you anti-messiahs who have done nothing, all right, to uplift, all right, godly ways, godly practices as it pertains to men and women, male and female. You have targeted children, okay, to be absolute monsters and raise them in this anti-Messiah rhetoric. And the legacy of Babylon the Great, as you can see, is tarnished, is wicked. As you have Christians flocking to Washington to pray for God, all right, or pray for America to turn to God by electing Trump. So this is their way of turning to God, by electing Trump. All right, and you Americans have supported, all right, war, bloodshed, destruction, all right, and death, rape, robbery, and murder. As a matter of fact, the scriptures in the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter and the 12th verse says, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city with iniquity." And iniquity is sin. America has not set a biblical standard, all right, in the earth. And it was established by what? Iniquity, blood. What sorrow awaits you who build cities with money gained through murder and corruption? And you Americans have supported, especially you Edomites. Now you're starting to see more of a cry from the Edomite against the establishment of America, because they're no longer benefiting from white supremacy or Edomite supremacy. It's tarnished. Okay, your children are addicted to drugs. All right, you're broke. You got Israelites, Jake, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are doing better than you Edomites. You Edomites are at the bottom, and it's prophecy that this is happening unto you. But now you want to cry to the Heavenly Father, all right, after supporting years of terror, all right, rape, robbery, and murder, even supporting the small hats, as you can see at this rally where you have the million women rally in Washington, D.C., was meant to symbolize conservative women to be empowered like the biblical figure Esther. So these people are all over the place, and they can see the writing on the wall now. As you can see, that flag is there. All right, what you found out is that America has supported, all right, that Zionist, all right, the so-called state of Israel and their atrocities over the years. All right, and you people didn't have a problem with it. Okay, you have these people going around calling themselves rabbis, okay, and supposedly be teachers of God, but they do everything opposite to what the Heavenly Father requires.
Solomon Friedman is the new owner of Pornhub. He is a Jewish attorney and rabbi. His private equity firm took over MindGeek, the umbrella company of virtually every porn site. He vowed to save Pornhub from ruin and make it a better place.
Now, this is a rabbi. What is a rabbi? A rabbi is a spiritual leader and teacher in Judaism who is qualified to guide the Jewish community or congregation. The word rabbi, all right, is Hebrew for my teacher, my master. They're supposed to teach the Jewish law and Jewish values and ethics. And what we found out about this so-called state of Israel, and that it never was rooted and pushing the true biblical principles of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right, and the power associated with those names and the power associated with the Bible in itself. Okay, again, what does the book of Psalms, the 50th chapter say? All right, Psalms, the 50th chapter, and the 16th verse. But God says to the wicked, which America supports that wickedness. America has been a partaker of some of the most diabolical and wicked acts. It has the most wicked and diabolical history, okay, of any nation ever established. This is Babylon the Great. And according to the scriptures, it's not going to be healed. All right. And you so-called Christians, you anti-messiahs, you've done nothing but practice paganism, witchcraft, okay, supported death, destruction, anti-messiah principles. Look at your men. Look at your women. Look at the children. Okay? Look at the people who you deem as, doctors. Okay? As a matter of fact, check this out. See if I can pull it up. Okay? Hospitals in the United States perform 14,000 child sex change procedures from 2019 to 2023. And we're in 2024, and it's happening right now. Okay? This is what America has been about. All right? And outside of that, waging war. Okay? False flags wars. You're going around the earth poisoning, rape, robbing, and murder. This is what you have done. Okay? Psalms 50 and 16. But God says to the wicked, why bother reciting my decrees and pretending to obey my covenant? For you refuse my discipline or instruction and treat my words like trash. When you saw thieves, you approved of them. And America saw thieves and approved of them. Okay? You spend time with adulterers, those who promote and push and do spiritual fornication, man. See? Look at all of the TV shows. Look at what they present. None of what you promote through music, through your media, through TV, uplifts the true God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? The Israelites come on the scene, okay, pushing the true message, and now you anti-messiahs are moved to go into prophecy. Now you're moved to want to call on God because you see that your time is up. Your mouth is filled with wickedness and your tongue is full of lies. See that?
So, Mr. Freeman, you're one of the most accomplished defense lawyers in the city. Why do you get involved with the company that owns porn?
Because this is an opportunity, once we looked into the company and the work that it does and what it is capable of doing in the future, that I and my partners couldn't pass up.
This is a rabbi. Okay? And on that site, it's all kind of wickedness going on. Okay? You talk about us. We're the grapists. They got all kind of dark stuff on the dark web. And every day you look up, you're seeing charges with these people with child, PORN, right? That's on that site too. It came out. So he's supposed to get control of it so that people will have to verify themselves before posting. As if that's his form of helping the earth. Come on, man. Anyway, all right. These people got to go. But going back, look at this madness. Going back to this article. Anti-messiahs flock to Washington to pray for America to turn to God by electing Trump. There's another article I had where, real quick, there was this particular pastor. Let's see if I can find it. All right, talking about Christians who don't vote are rebelling against God. So the leaders of this religion, this is a failed religion. It has never been good. It has been one of the worst things that happened to the earth, and especially our people, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Getting involved in Christianity totally made you into a demon. Okay? And the leaders of these churches are going to lead you all to the MOTB. All right? Now, going back, okay, then I want to get a video and we'll close it out. I don't want to make this too long. All right, tens of thousands of evangelical Christians, all right, gathered on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. on Saturday to pray for America's atonement, meaning to forgive America's sins. Now, when you get Revelation, okay, let's get it real quick. Remembered, the book of Revelation 18 and 5, all right, NLT, for her sins piled as high as the heaven, and God remembered her evil deeds. Do unto her as she has done unto others, double her penalty. For all her evil deeds, she brewed a cup of terror for others, so brewed twice as much for her. All right, she glorified herself in luxury, so match it now with torment and sorrow. She boasted in her heart, I am a queen on my throne. I am no helpless widow. I have no reason to mourn. All right, you so-called white people especially, you've boasted, okay, and you're being a Christian. You boasted that you're the greatest this, the greatest that, you'll never fall, right?
Why don't you build your own country? You didn't fucking build our country. You didn't build shit. Some of you worked here, yeah, but you didn't build. If that was the case, then you could build your own shit in your own country. Look at Africa. How great is that built? Tell me how great that's built over there. Wow. It's a economic powerhouse over there, isn't it?
No, wrong.
Greatest standard of living on the planet.
Yeah.
So you've boasted, all right? You've waxed proud. Now we're living at a time where it's time to pay, okay? And you want to call on God? You want to call on the Most High? The God of the Bible to fix it? Okay? Tens of thousands of evangelical Christians. See, which an evangelist is one who's happy to tell the good news of Yahweh Shai. Okay, to boost the morale, all right, of the children of Israel, right? That's what a true evangelist is. To boost the morale of the children of Israel about what Yahweh Shai did for us and what he's coming to do, right? When has America done that? Outside of arguing that God loves everybody, all right, you accepting moles into the church, okay, teaching a total and celebrating Christmas, Easter. So these ain't no evangelicals, because they wouldn't understand and know that the Lord is going to destroy this place. That's what the true evangelicals are calling for the Lord to do. Calling for Yahweh Shai to come and deliver us out of this hellhole. Okay? Tens of thousands of evangelical Christians gathered on the National Mall in Washington, okay, to pray for America's atonement and for Donald Trump to return to the White House. Okay? They're not praying for the Lord to return. Okay? They're praying for Donald Trump. See? And all he's going to do, all right, because the left is doing a nasty work. I mean, when you look at what this Democratic Party is doing, it's like they're purposely leading you away from them, all right, and leading you into the hands of Donald Trump, okay, who's a big supporter of the Zionists, the Israel, although he tries to act like he's against the deep state and this and this and that. Yeah, it sounds good, but he's gonna lead your ass, all right, to the NWO. He's partnered with Elon Musk. These people have a total anti-Messiah agenda, and by you thinking that Donald Trump is going to save you, all right, you're just, all right, following the other, all right, because it's a bipartisan system. Most of the laws are bipartisan. Most of these Democrats and Republicans agree on a lot of the madness going on, okay? But they put on this show as if they're really in disagreeing, and they create a mess with one, and they try to save you with another. But where it's all going, as we'll show you, all right, is to the MOTB system, AI governing the world, you not being able to have an opinion, no free speech, okay, and under a totalitarian tyranny. As a matter of fact, let's get the book of Isaiah in the 19th chapter, right? Isaiah 19. Ezekiel 19, not Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19 and 2. I will make Egyptian fight against Egyptian, all right? The civil unrest. Disagree. Not only do they disagree, all right, politically, the men don't agree with the women. The women don't agree with the men. Now you have people getting podcasts benefiting off of the gender war and confusion. Okay, the children are all jacked up. They're against the parents. The parents are against the children. Families are divided against one another. Okay? When the juice came out, look at the division that it caused. This is a divided kingdom. And it's by design, and you people are falling into the trap. But the people who believe that they're God leading you into this mess, okay, they're going to be judged as well, the elites. I will make Egyptian fight against Egyptian, brother against brother, and neighbor against neighbor, and city against city, province against province. You're going to have certain states succeeding, all right, from the United States, all right, if certain policies are passed. This thing is just getting ready to go down the shithole. Okay, this thing is, America is CTD, circling the drain. The Egyptians will lose heart, okay, meaning they're going to lose their minds. That's what's happening. You can't afford nothing, okay? You're sick. Your food is poisoned and fake. The education has totally been engulfed in Satanism and anti-Messiah rhetoric. The people are just completely stupid who go into these schools, especially to these colleges. From a child up, the school system is designed to prepare you to be an anti-Messiah slave in their system. But now that some of you are waking up, they're like, we'll just replace your dumb ass with a robot. Okay? Robots fit to take all of these jobs. So what do you think they got planned for you people? You think Donald Trump's gonna save you from that? No. He's linked with Elon Musk, who's, all right, forwarding those agendas to enslave your ass. It just sounds better. The Egyptians will lose heart, and I will confuse their plans. Yeah, your plan to make America great again. All right? They will plead with their idols for wisdom. All right? Which Christianity is rooted in idol worship. All right? But now people are godless. People don't believe in the Bible. People don't believe in God. So now you got many Americans turning to witchcraft. Okay? A lot of these people, especially these women, are turning to witchcraft. All right, so look at the title of these articles. 21 brutally honest confessions from an American evangelical pastor who left the church. The great de-churching. Why so many Americans are leaving their churches. Okay, the real reason churches have a young adult void. Young women are leaving the church in unprecedented numbers, and a lot of them are turning to witchcraft. Okay, new book. The ex-evangelicals explore why many Americans are leaving the church. Okay? Concern for religion's future in America grows as young women stop attending church. And many of them are turning to witchcraft. Okay? Drugs. People are hooked on drugs. Alcohol. Destroyed. So the Egyptians will lose heart. I will confuse their plans. They will plead with their idols for wisdom and call on spirits and mediums. And that's what you're doing when you're calling on Jesus. That's a demon. That's not the God of the Son of the Most High. The whole time you were following an idol. Now that the true image of Yahweh Shah is coming out, you found out you people really don't love the Bible. And call on spirits, mediums, and those who consult spirits of the dead. They're all doing that. Building altars. Right? These people are totally confused. I will hand Egypt over to a hard, cruel master. A fierce king will rule them, says the Lord of Heaven's army. So either it's Trump or whoever, Kamala, at the bottom line, the tyranny of the elite is going to come down on you people either way it goes. And we're going to bring a video out going into that. Okay? For hours, they gathered and sang worship songs, waved flags, symbolizing their belief that America was founded as an explicitly Christian nation. No, America was established, all right, by Edomites and racial superiority. Just like right now over there, what's happening to those Palestinians is happening based off of racial superiority, hitting under the guise, all right, of we want to establish the God, we're God's people, this and this and that. It's no different. Okay, the doctrine of discovery, where you devils who were Christians would find lands where our people were and deem them 3/5 of a human being and a savage, which would justify you taking them down and shooting them and treating them like animals because they're not humans. Pursuing your pseudoscience, you went through the earth, okay, with anti-Messiah ideologies under the guise of following the Messiah, working wickedness. You took Darwin's theories, okay, and practiced, okay, genocide on people based upon their inferiority. It wasn't based upon true Christian principles. Now, there was a point where they tried, because you had the Puritans. You had a point where some of them were trying to be, true, Bible believing, things were a little in order. But this place was, as it waxed worse and worse. Look at it now. Right? And you people support it. Now you people want to cry and talk about you want to turn to God because it's not working out for you, especially you Edomites. Again, your children are hooked on drugs, you're broke, you through, you confused. Okay? It says, and prayed aloud for Jesus to intercede on behalf of Donald Trump in November. If we don't stand now, said Grace Lynn, who traveled from Los Angeles for the rally and came wearing a red Make America Great Again hat, the enemy, all right, will take over our country if that happens, and that's the end. And MAGA, all right, is witchcraft when you look it up. Okay? MAGA is a Greek word, okay? May mean enchantress, a woman with magical powers. All right, there's also an adjective, magist, magism, which can be employed from the firm maga to refer to magical things. The ancient Greeks had similar adjective. All right, it could be used to indicate magical things. And sorcery and witchcraft is one of your sins as well. Okay? That's why Isaiah 47 tells you to stand now with thine enchantments. Okay? As a matter of fact, let's say here, Isaiah 47:7, speaking to you, America, and thou hast said, I shall be a lady forever. Remember that mindset? No one will take us down. As long as things continue to where you people were able to live a decent lifestyle and enjoy your Edomite, superiority, you were good. All right? Now you see what's happening. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou did not lay these things to thy heart, neither did thou remember the latter end of it, your consequences. All right, NLT, you said I will reign forever as queen of the world. You did not reflect on your actions or think about their consequences. Listen to this, you pleasure-loving kingdom. You've been wanton in sin and transgression from your inception. Okay, living at ease and feeling secure. You people have lived at ease and felt secure. Now you see you ain't secure no more. You say, I am the only one and there is no other. I will never be a widow or lose my children. All right, we'll just blow them to smithereens. The U.S. military Navy's the greatest. Now look at you. It's full of sodomites, overweight, underqualified people who have no morale. They're just there for a check or to get their college paid for. The women are complete sluts. The men are sodomites, are soft and weird. Okay? No longer do you have that General Patton American mighty man spirit in the military anymore. Okay? All right, you say I'm the only one and there's no other through your pseudoscience. You've paraded yourself as the highest functioning human. You have the highest IQ, which is bullshit. The whole intelligence quotient system is rooted in anti-Messiah rhetoric. Okay, to where you through witchcraft, all right, and false testing methods are able to say someone is in deemed life because they don't meet this qualification you set, to where you're able to set your nest on high and you flourish in that way. Just like SATs and things like that, these different tests you got to take in these schools. Our people ain't taught. Our people, it's totally contrary to who we are and our vibe, our vibration. Yet we're deemed stupid and dumb. You got the bell curve and all these various different things if we don't pass these tests. But we look at these people, oh, they're so smart, they're so wise. But when you get down to the nitty gritty, Esau Edom is stupid as hell and overrated. Man, woman, and child, overrated. You're not this wise, all right, group of people. You're wise to do evil. You're diligent in wickedness, but you're not a good ruler, all right? And the Lord has blessed you, all right, to build you up to where you are now. But remember what happened to Pharaoh. He told Pharaoh, for this very point, I have raised you up to show my power in your fall, man. Well, both of these things will come upon you in a moment: widowhood, loss of children, and that's happening now. Yes, these calamities will come upon you despite all your witchcraft and magic. You felt secure in your wickedness. No one sees me, you said, but your wisdom and knowledge have led you astray, just like the prince of Tyrus. And you said, I am the only one and there is no other. See, I am and there is none else. You've paraded yourself around as God. Now, look at the technology being you boasted in. So disaster will overtake you and you won't be able to charm it away. Calamity will fall upon you and you won't be able to buy your way out of it. A catastrophic event will strike you suddenly, one for which you are not prepared. Now use your magical charms and use your spells that have worked for years. And this is speaking to the elites, but as is the ruler, so is the people. And all of this witchcraft, you're going to find out that it's not going to work, because when it's all said and done, okay, let's get a video here. The Lord is getting ready to take this place down. I'm going to play this video from Christopher Green, AMTV.
Oh, man.
I'm going to start at around 4 minutes. Okay? He's an Edomite Christian who's losing his mind as he sees America going to shits. All right, but he's supposed to be a Christian, okay? But at the same time, pushing be a millionaire, which, hey, live it up. Do your thing. But let's just listen to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, is in the King Jesus Christ. That is where the real change is coming. And Donald Trump is very, very pissed off, whether you like him or not. He's been under constant attacks and lawfare. They've literally tried to take his life multiple times. He is angry, and whether you like his politics or don't like his politics, you're a Republican or a Democrat, we have to understand it is God's will. Now, when Trump gets into office, he will be waging war against the deep state. There is going to be massive repercussions for all of these people in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, he's going to come after the deep state. We'll see. Always these promises. All right, but there is a divide amongst Esau Edom. All right, there is, a lot of blackmailing going on. There's a lot of stuff coming out and being, brought out to the forefront that, they, was once a secret,
All of these dirty politicians and criminals, all of these people that continue to hurt middle-class Americans, that are transferring all the wealth to themselves, that have censored the internet, that have created giant monopolies in the United States, which are illegal. By the way, we're also seeing that major companies like Google are now in focus by the Department of Justice for running essentially monopolies, illegal companies here in the United States. I mean, again, it's illegal to run a monopoly. This is why Teddy Roosevelt broke up big, oil or big steel. That's why we've gone through those parts of history as we lived through the Depression and the Civil War and all these major events. So this is a massive revelation of what's to come. Again, I talked about that the average empire over this weekend only lasts 250 years, and then they collapse. The United States has been around for 248 years. So what do you think? Are we showing more signs of decline? Are we showing signs of collapse? Are we?
Listen to what he just said. Let's take it back.
the United States. I mean, again, it's illegal to run a monopoly. This is why Teddy Roosevelt broke up big, oil or big steel. That's why we've gone through those parts of history as we lived through the Depression and the Civil War and all these major events. So this is a massive revelation of what's to come. Again, I talked about that the average empire over this weekend only lasts 250 years, and then they collapse. The United States has been around for 248 years. So what do you think? Are we showing more signs of...
Right. Empires usually last around 250 years. America has been in power 248. Right? And of that 248 years, all right, this was a few years back, why has the U.S. been fighting for 228 of the last 245 years? They've been at war pretty much the whole time. And when you're not at war or creating chaos in our earth, you're experimenting on people, creating fake things to destroy the people, creating GMOs. You're the devil, okay? This is the hammer of the earth. As a matter of fact, let's get that, okay? Jeremiah 50:23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. All you've done is fought against the Lord. Okay, and we're gonna finish it off in a minute there's no hill in Babylon. Listen to this guy.
Decline? Are we showing signs of collapse? Are we showing signs of a weakening currency? Are we showing signs of just technological advancement that is changing everything? One of the principal reasons an empire is even allowed to stay powerful is because of its centralized control and power. Its influence and domination over populations through centralized force, through a king, or here in the United States, branches of government, is still centralized in many and most of its respects. Whether or not this is the IRS, or it's those other organizations we're not allowed to talk about, they're all centralized controllers. They're all centralized, powerful forces that are dominating not just the media, rhetoric, policy, and law to a certain extent in the United States. But the problem is, we are now moving through a technological shift and age, whether or not America likes it or not. This is why I told you years ago that whether you liked Bitcoin or not, you would all be using it in the future. It would become ubiquitous. It would make you rich. It would sail above 100K and then 1 million and then 2 to 3 million. It would be the #1 investment in the world. It would not be banned. It would be embraced and bought by BlackRock and your government and Wall Street. Trump would go all in, even after calling it a scam, which is exactly what's happening now. Again, every single prediction that we have made has come to pass. From Bitcoin to economic collapse to 2008 and 09, to the lockdowns, to the panic, to the tyranny that you just lived through in 2020, to now this. To the invasion of Ukraine being a proxy war to open up World War III, to our warning to keep your eyes on Israel before October 7th, and then, of course, the attack by Hamas and Hezbollah. Every single prediction has come to pass because it's very predictable. We even have Elon Musk. He's revealing automatons into society. These are literal robots controlled by the deep state, the Pentagon, and the Defense Department. They can be hacked by rogue nation states. Iran, they can take control of it. Osama bin Laden's crew might get hold of these robots. They're not just there to cook you flapjacks in the morning and wash your car and help you brush your teeth in the morning and to teach your children or to walk your dog. These are weapons, just like all the drones. Did you notice that there was a story about drones over U.S. installation and military bases, and they're not sure who it was from or where they came from or what it exactly was? Well, again, these are the new weapons. Wall Street Journal reports mystery drones swarmed a U.S. military base for 17 days. It says the Pentagon is stumped. They have no idea what it was. Well, I don't believe that. But just like I've prognosticated, there will be a time where every American city will be invaded by these things. Even if it's not your own government, even if it's not an inside job, it's going to be Iran. It's going to be North Korea. It's going to be Russia or China that you are at war with right now. And you see, what we have are signs of a rising East and a collapsing West. Well, most of the world is laughing at the United States and its inconsistencies and the fact that it's debating gender more than it is taking care of its own veterans or cleaning up the debt or paying our bills on time or, offering hope and stability to a people. Again, the disillusionment campaign and the demoralization phase of the propaganda has been rolled out by these too big to fails, by these elites that shouldn't be, to take over the country, to overthrow it. Again, just like they've called all these things conspiracies in the past and then they just become fact. Like, for example, they're not spraying your skies and they can't modify the weather. Now they just admit it. Or, oh, they're not tracking your cell phone. That would be illegal and anti-constitutional to, oh yeah, no, of course we're tracking your cell phone. Of course we're watching you take a dump in the morning and make love to your wife. And of course we're remote viewing your screens from the Pentagon and tracking you everywhere you go, even when your cell phone is off. And yes, we're monitoring your facial expressions, your eye movement. We're tracking your eye. We have access to your bank accounts. We can turn them off at any moment. We can censor you. We can collapse the system. We can lock you down. We can remove your rights during an emergency. We can declare martial law. Again, they say it's a conspiracy, then they do it. They say it's not happening, then they admit it, and they normalize it. They say, oh, that's the new normal. Well, the new normal is we're tracking you every day, Christopher. The new normal is we've removed your freedom during the emergency event. Sorry about that. We've declared executive action and raped your Constitution. We apologize, is what they say later. Well, you know what the general does? This is what the general does. Doesn't comply. Crypto is soaring. Bitcoin is breaking out today. Massive moves. Bitcoin trading 5% higher on the collapse of America and the collapse of the US dollar
Thru.
in the trash fiat system of corruption and bailouts in the United States. Bitcoin is now trading at 65K. No, it hasn't gone to zero. It's only made you and all of my members rich. You're only buying Lambos and Rolexes and real estate along with us because we've gotten everything right here at islandproject.com. No, it has not been banned.
Yeah. These and you know, there's truth to what he's saying, but he's the devil, you know. All of them are getting ready to lose. But you heard it. There's no hill in this place, man. You can watch the rest of that video if you would like. Going back to this article. Give me 1 second here. These devils got the nerves, all right? Let's see here. Let me read this right here. It says, Lou Engle, the self-described prophet who organized the event, said God told him in a dream to call 1 million women to march, all right, in Washington. Like what? These people have to be stopped. Okay, it's time out for the wicked, man. Okay, the Lord told him to tell 1 million women to march. Okay. God damn, boy. So, God. And all America has done is destroyed you women. All right? Pushing false ideologies and philosophies on you to destroy you from your natural order.
I don't think you should ever take an approach to them that affirms their delusions in any way whatsoever. I mean, how are you gonna get someone to understand the truth about your civilization when they are completely immersed in falsehood about their own so-called civilization? Like I'm supposed to convince you about the moral rectitude of Islam while you are the least moral so-called civilization in history? No. You need to know yourselves. You can talk to each other about women's rights, but you can't say anything about that to anyone in the global south. When you talk about respecting women, where it's like Diddy talking to his mother or something, you know, talking to someone who doesn't know that man, who doesn't know what he does, who doesn't know how he behaves, and who just thinks the best of him. No, the global south knows what you did and they know what you do. You wouldn't get to know the BTK killer by talking to his wife and family or his co-workers or the people at his church. I mean, they tell you how wonderful and mild-mannered he is, how decent he is, how respectful he is. No, you need to talk to the people who he tortured. You need to talk to the victims who survived his attacks. That's how you'll know what kind of a man he is. If you want to know how much the West respects women and how much they believe in human rights and dignity and so on, then you need to talk to their victims and see if they agree with their propaganda. Did you believe in equality and women's rights when you were raping Congolese women in public? When you were committing mass rapes in Algeria as counterinsurgency tactics? You know, did you believe in women's freedom and equality when you locked women in Namibia in concentration camps and raped them en masse? Or when you basically decriminalized raping African women because you thought they weren't actually even human? When you raped Angolan women in refugee camps or forced Indonesian women into sexual slavery or committed widespread and entirely routine and approved of sexual violence across Vietnam, across Cambodia, Laos, and so on, and in Burma. What was that? Feminism? And when you raped Filipinas en masse, writ large, where were your sophisticated values then? And no, I'm not talking about ancient history. Yes, you did it in colonial times, and you've kept doing it ever since. You never stopped enslaving women, raping women, murdering women in the global south. You never stopped doing that. You were doing it in Iraq, you were doing it in Afghanistan, and in Haiti, and in Bosnia, and in Syria. Yes, in fact, when you all calculate your rape statistics, as bad as they are, the way you calculate them, you fail to include all of the rapes that you commit overseas, when you put together how many of your own women get raped and assaulted in your own country, you should actually add to that all of the women that you rape and assault in other countries. You know, you talk about immigrants coming to the West and being criminals, but you never sent anyone but criminals to the global South. All your Western Enlightenment colonizers, all your praise the Lord and pass the ammunition missionaries, all your God bless America soldiers, all your degenerate businessmen, your so-called best and brightest that you sent over to our countries, who came to our countries to civilize us and Christianize us, to save our women from oppression and misogyny and our backward ways and our backwards cultures. You only sent over rapists and torturers and murderers. That's who you sent over to civilize us. Well, I don't know how you can even have the gall to pretend that you ever cared about women's rights, when all that you ever showed us in terms of women's rights is that you think you have a right to our women. And that's not even mentioning the misery of the woman over there in the West, where you raise her from childhood to be an object, just a decoration to be enjoyed by all and sundry. You teach her to conform to the ever more degrading societal standards, to wear revealing clothing, to be a sex object, to be eye candy. And then you have the audacity to claim that you believe in women's rights and equality. I mean, even your female Olympic athletes, who are the best at what they do, you require them to dress like pole dancers in their competitions. And all you do is ogle them, look at them and gawk at them instead of appreciate their discipline and hard work and training and skills. You know, you created OnlyFans and taught your women that what you truly value is degeneracy. You know, she could go to school, she could get degrees, she could become a doctor, she could become a lawyer, should become an engineer or a CEO, but she'll never get rich faster than if she gets naked on camera and defiles herself for strangers. That's what your society rewards women for. You know, a stripper can make more money than an executive. You're teaching them what you want them to do, what you want them to be, because your whole system denotes value exclusively in terms of pay packages. So you are implanting in women's minds and imposing on women's psyches that this type of behavior is what makes them valuable in your society. You know, more than half of the women in your society, more than half, feel pressured into performing abnormal sexual acts that they're not comfortable with just because their partners have warped their brains on pornography. So now they expect their wives and their girlfriends to act like porn stars. Meanwhile, most of those porn stars are out of their minds on drugs and numb from childhood trauma. But you want normal women to act like that, and you're mad if they don't. 87% of college-age women report being compelled to do these types of abnormal things sexually that they don't want to do because of your great feminist society. Girls as young as 13 say that they feel pressured to try to look and behave just like women in pornographic videos. 13. And because you dismiss...
Right, and now the regular music videos are basically pornographic videos.
The necessity of marriage, promiscuity has become normalized in your culture, making women feel compelled to become sexually intimate much earlier than they're comfortable doing. And they're made to feel like something's wrong with them if they don't do it. And then you gaslight them into thinking that this is freedom. You gaslight them into thinking that this is women's liberation.
Yep.
You're psychologically abusing the women in your society on every level. 69% of girls in the 5th to 12th grades report that magazine pictures influence their idea of what they're supposed to look like. 45% of women report feeling pressure to try to achieve a certain body shape or a certain size. And 1 in 5 women report that because of this, they experience body dysmorphic disorder, wherein they think that there's something wrong with how they look. They think there's something wrong with how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them, if they don't look like a supermodel in some magazine or look like a porn star in some video. You know, you claim to believe in women's equality, but the data shows that women in your society are still objectified and still marginalized. 60% of women report feeling pressure to try to dress in a way that is socially considered to be attractive or sexually attractive.
And this is all right, a result of not pushing, all right, biblical standards. Okay, you have not used your power to establish anything, all right, that forwards the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the true God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is an only begotten Son. Okay, it says the self-described prophet Lou Engle. Let's look this guy up, just for laughs. I'm gonna be done in a minute. Oh boy. Yep. So God, okay, the Lord called him, he says, okay, to call on 1 million women to march in Washington to order restores God's dominion over the nation. It's only gonna get worse after that. Engel is a leader in the New Apostolic Reformation, a movement of charismatic Christians who for years have portrayed U.S. politics as a spiritual clash between good and evil, and Trump as a flawed leader anointed by God to redeem the nation. Listen to the cries of your people, Engel shouted Saturday as thousands of followers lifted their hands to the sky. Save us, God. And you see that small hat flag, okay? Oh boy, you people are in trouble, okay? From a strange overlooking the Washington Monument, Engel and other speakers warned of a multitude of threats that they are facing: America, crime, religious persecution, abortion, growing acceptance of alphabet people. All right, thousands of women came wearing peaked shirts, all right, blazoned with the words "Don't mess with our kids," the name of the slogan of the anti-alphabet activist group that claims library books. So again, these are divides, these are uproars of the people as well. All right, but you people are through. Okay, the Lord is not going to heal this place, man. If we don't turn our nation back to the Lord, we're on a fast slide to the abyss with no return. Okay, well, let's get what the scriptures say. Jeremiah 51:7 says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made the earth drunken with those philosophies. Just what they've done to women alone, what they've done to men, what they're doing to the children. All psychological operations in the name of liberty, is in the name of, being liberal or democracy. And the republic ain't gonna save your ass either. Okay, the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Okay, woe to him that putteth his bottle upon his on people and then look on their naked bodies. That's what Esau does to these nations through his philosophies. Okay, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Okay, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. Let us go every one into our own country, for her judgment reacheth to heaven and is lifted up to the sky. So a lot of people, all right, are getting ready to, a lot of people are already leaving and getting ready to try to leave this place, but ultimately judgment is coming to this place. Okay? The Lord has vindicated us. Let us come and announce in Jerusalem everything the Lord has done. So we're announcing to our people, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place, man. He ain't going to heal this place. Ain't no healing coming to Babylon. As a matter of fact, let's just look at a few of these articles here before we get up out of here. Okay, 3% of high school students now identified as trans. Okay. The juice. Was Trump against the juice? All right? No. Is he going to be against the charagma? No. Nothing but hell, man. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that out, man. Oh, and Trump supposedly they tried to assassinate him again. All right, yesterday I believe would mark as the third time. Okay. So, and there was another one. It was the third attempt on his life, man. So something's getting ready to happen. According to Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco, this could have been the third attempt on Trump's life. Wow. But the man was released. So who knows? Who knows? It's a lot going on, man. And it's a beautiful time to stand for Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. The Pope declares Jesus is a liar and Lucifer is the son of God. Okay.
Said that practicing pedophiles will go to heaven, prophesying atheists will go to heaven, and Christianity must merge with Islam to become a one-world religion. Still, his supporters bend over backwards to defend the indefensible. Now the Jesuit Pope has declared that Jesus is a liar, and Lucifer, son of the morning, is the son of God. Good luck defending him this time. Before we dive in, join the peoples of Pope Francis. The Bible must be fact-checked by the World Economic Forum. Parents of abused children must forgive pedophiles if the perpetrators have good hearts. And, wait for it, Jesus is Satan. Pope Francis's comments have caused outrage in the Vatican, with many archbishops calling for his head. But given the disturbing facts coming out about the Jesuit Pope, should we really be surprised by his support for Klaus Schwab's Nazi-style eugenics and
And that black eye is a satanic ritual as well. That black eye you see him with, you've noticed over the years, you see certain people pop up with black eyes. That's symbolizing that they were abused sexually, or it's something dealing with that, or that they sexually abused. See somebody.
Anti-population programs. The sooner the world wakes up and sees Pope Francis for what he truly is, a false prophet doing the devil's work, the better off we will all be. Pope Francis recently did an interview with Laura O'Donnell of CBS. And in the interview, Pope Francis explicitly denies this gospel of Jesus Christ. There's no way to take his words out of context. There is no defending him this time.
When you look at the world, what gives you hope?
Todo. Everything.
Uno ve tragedias.
You see tragedies.
Pero ve.
But you also see so many beautiful things.
Cosas lindas. Uno ve madres heroicas.
You see heroic mothers.
Hombres heroicos.
Heroic men. Men who have hopes and dreams. Women who look to the future. That gives me a lot of hope.
La gente quiere vivir.
People want to live. People forge ahead. And people are fundamentally good. We are all fundamentally good. Yes, there are some rogues and sinners, but the heart itself is good.
When asked what gives him hope, he says that everything gives him hope, because we are all fundamentally good. The Bible begs to differ. Check out Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 20, or Romans chapter 3 verse 10 through 12. The Pope is teaching an explicit denial of the original sin. This wasn't a throwaway comment. He belabored the point. He emphasized it. For those who've been watching Pope Francis closely, this won't come as a surprise. He's been contradicting the Bible and inverting core Christian teachings for years now. In New York City, he even went as far as to preach that Jesus Christ is a failure. According to Francis, the life of Jesus was a flop.
And if, at times, our efforts and works seem to fail and not produce fruit, we need to remember that we are followers of Jesus Christ, and his life, humanly speaking, ended in failure, the failure of the cross.
The Pope's defenders argue that he messed up his words, but this is not the case. Pope Francis's disturbing teachings show no signs of stopping. He is intent on promoting a one-world religion that merges Islam and Christianity, pushing an agenda that is the exact opposite of traditional Christian beliefs.
Identificare l'Islam con la violenza. Questo non è giusto e non è vero.
The Pope also said he is convinced that coexistence between people of various religions is possible. He called on society to combat the malaise that is at the root of terrorism.
Il terrorismo cresce quando non c'è un'altra opzione e mentre al centro dell'economia mondiale ci sia il dio denaro e non la persona, l'uomo e la donna. Questo già è il primo terrorismo. Hai cacciato via la meraviglia del creare.
Yeah, you can look at the rest of that. I don't know. I just thought to click on that. You know, the Catholic Church is still open to this very day after all of the atrocities. All right. All right, man. So that juice, boy. Lord willing, we'll be back with more. Hopefully I'll edify. Shalom. Look at this. This is your U.S. government. Eve, boy. God damn. Shalom.